What's up, guys? Today I wanted to go over the game of Heretics versus Koi. Now, I know that Koi lose this game. I mean, that's why I want to watch it. I didn't see any of the LEC games for this week, so I'm going in blind. I'm not really sure what their meta was. Based on week 1, I remember it was like a heavy amount of Maokai and Sejuani in the jungle, like a lot of control picks, very reminiscent to what was happening in Worlds in summer. And yeah, I mean, I see a ban for Maokai already. And prior towards the new season, Maokai was getting a decent set of priority because people were flexing him to top lane. So I'm just very curious to see how this goes. I mean, they banned Zyra.
A lot of that is going to determine
they banned
the results of this game.
They've been playing a lot of... So what I remember is they were playing this with Talia. Like, this was like a combo they really liked. And Aloya has definitely played a lot of Vi as well. Like, some players just make this champion a notable ban. Like, Lucid. Like people will almost never let Vi go through against Lucid.
Heretics, if they win, will eliminate SK and will put Rogue in a very
Kalista.
difficult position. So those at the bottom of the standings are
Kalista versus Super, huh? And Varus. So Kalista and Varus are both gone, which means like things like Ezreal, MF trading is a thing. Some people play Jinx. There is... I mean, we've seen like a slow, steady set of like, oh, people are playing Zeri, Jinx, like you'll drop like your ball into the 4-5 to take a range support, right? We've seen these kinds of drafts. We'll just see like how teams are actually feeling it out. Like Rel is open. Rel's a big pick. First pick Corki. So they're still really on the Corki vibes. I don't know where Corki net really sits still because it's like kind of unperformed. Some regions it's done well, other regions it's done bad. So it's not just like a guaranteed like power pick. I'm just gonna win out with it. So they take the Ezreal.
We look at other junglers like Vi, still very prevalent here in EU, and the Sejuani too. It just acts as a very solid front line. It's a great skirmish champion. It's good presence in the early game, and with some of these fast clear junglers taken out of the pool.
Oh, I mean, I didn't even state this. I think a lot of teams probably... I think a lot of teams would not take Corki here, actually, now that I think about it. Or if they did take Corki, there'd be a specific thing, but for here specifically, you know, so it looks like he's gonna lock in the Nilly, right? But right now we have Cassante, we have Mbessa, and we have Jace. Like the 3 big picks, and this is a flex pick too, right? Like you can flex this, you can flex this, depending. Like, I mean, he definitely plays Jace. I don't know if he plays Jace, but you have literally 2 flex picks that are pretty obnoxious, especially Jace. Like Jace being the big one. So if they did like Jace, Ezreal, Slam, I think that would have been a lot more winning than picking Ezreal, Nidalee. Like way more winning. And then they have to take their top laner, or like they have to take like Cassante or Mbessa or something like that right away. Because if they don't, then technically like they could even toss in a Cassante here. So you have Cassante, or you could even do like Renekton, right? So like you could have Jace mid, Nidalee, Renekton into like the Cassante or whatever. There's just so much open for the top side that seems way better than just taking this and just dropping your bot lane till later. But I guess this is how they draft over here. Because like if they're taking Nidalee, there's really no other AP junglers you're playing at that point to counteract it. I mean, you can play Graves, but like Graves Corki sounds absolutely horrible. So it's like you're playing probably like Ivern or like Sejuani, right? Lee Sin? Whoa. That would be bold. So look, they take Cassante, right? Awesome. Cool. We have Cassante. Really? They're gonna play Lilia. Lilia into these champions? I'll just take the Jace at this point. Like, Jace beats the Cassante. Jace, like, you'll have the lane swap. So it's Jace and a lane swap, but also the Jace could go mid. And then you could just try to look for something else in topside, which I guess would be what? Like Jax, Renekton. I don't know. What else would you want to play in top side at that point? It's not a whole lot, to be honest. Like Kasante's just like not a fun champion for the verse. I don't think you really want to play Udyr, even though people have played Udyr. Maokai's removed. There's Ornn, but like people don't really like playing Ornn. Sion kind of just like progressively loses per se. I don't know. But to me,
of the Nidalee also gives you
I feel like I prefer
as well.
The Jace, no matter what. Like, it's just a better pick overall. Like it's a literal power pick.
As well here to diversify that mid jungle damage spreads. The Hover of the Ambessa is going to be the lock-in for Neo in 3 Kasante gains, now 4 Ambessa gains for him. A man that's
I think they took Ambessa in the idea that they think Ambessa is just a better duelist into the Kasante overall, and then will perform better in the lane swap, which I do get. The Jace, though, if you have support with him, can lane. That's one thing to consider. You can 2v2 lane with the Jace versus the Ambessa laning. It can work, but it's not necessarily the best.
Priority picks.
Did they not ban anything?
I mean, it's...
We'll see. We'll get there. Apparently it was a missed ban by MKoi, so they just didn't ban something on R4.
Wow, okay.
Wow.
Maybe the Lilia
Yeah, that's awesome. They didn't ban. So are they going to ban Leona?
Will it be enough to overcome the MKoi
Azir.
I think MKoi probably, I mean, they are definitely one of our best performing teams because they're top of the table. I think they've shown us a lot of good things so far. You talked a little bit about Meow's champion, the fact it's been relatively small so far this, but I actually don't mind it. I'm going to be honest, like, with Fearless on the horizon, giving away less information early on makes more sense to me, right? If you can just play Kasante or Ambessa into Kasante, then you're not really giving away your Hockey Corky top or your Varus top.
Smolder.
Middle 6 perhaps. You'll come back to the 4. Smolder, the next man here,
That's
the Azir in the mid lane.
Interesting. So they're leaving it to Quirky mid, which, I mean, Quirky mid's like kind of whatever. Yone. So if they're banning Yone, that means they're probably fishing for... I mean, if it's Yone, it's for sure Quirky mid. I mean, like, what am I saying? Like, it's definitely Quirky mid. So, because if you're banning Azir, banning Yone, yeah, like, and you have Lilia jungle, like, yeah, you're probably doing that. Seraphine blind with Nautilus open? I don't think so, bro. That doesn't sound good. So they end up getting the Jace anyways, which is just... They ban Azir, Yone. They have Nidalee. This I'm like okay with. I guess in the end there is Yone always for them to take, but like it's Yone blind. Is there anything they could counteract Yone with? I mean, if they ban Azir, definitely like it's definitely harder. But they could play Akali. But do they want to play Akali? Akali's not bad into those champions at all, actually. I think I'd be down for that. I wonder if the Yone bounce actually worth it. Maybe it's just because JoJo's so good on it, but I just think Akali's good into all these champions so far. For sure.
So, that makes more sense to me. AD mid paired up with the AP jungle. Of course, you're very limited in your crowd control right now. Rel looks like a big power pick for Koi alongside Leona. Heretics could be looking for something similar themselves. They're very much lacking in the engaged department. Question is, where will this Corki be going? And with that hover, it suggests that it might be looking like it's Corki maybe with a Draven for flanking.
So they're going to go all in with a Draven to force a lane swap because they have Kasante. That's why they're doing this. They go with Braum so they can do a full peel back comp, but I really think they should have gone with... Like, pretty sure they should have gone with Leo. Like, I know Leo's not necessarily as good into the Rel, but I feel like you need the pull. Like, you need to be able to fish for, like, the Leo R, which is doesn't put you in any danger, and go for it. So it's going to be a lane swap. Like, undoubtedly it's going to be a lane swap. So they have Braum, who's a stronger level 1. Maybe that's partially why they did it. Because it gives them power to get, like, wards on top side. So you have all these wards, they can see everything. And now they can decide if they want to go top or bot. So no one's showing, and they're just starting to head bot. And I assume this is because their idea is that if Lilia is not showing in the top jungle, but you always try to start on the bot side and go upwards.
About the lane swap now. These deep walls that were invested by Koi. You can see them on your screen, highlighted. If I can find the right button. You can see this deep vision vested all the way in the lane to identify who is where and what is happening in the early
Yeah,
game.
so I'm assuming it's because they didn't see Lilia re-enter the top jungle, they're thinking that they're swapping. Because Lilia would never, like, have up for Sante. See, I don't mind this idea, so a lot of teams have forgotten, but of course it's going to put them in a GG situation, which is not great. So he gets level 2, right? Like, the goal is that he gets level 2 from here, he goes bot, and then you 4v1 the Cassante. Like, that's, like, the idea. The only problem is it's a Cassante. Like, he's the only champion who could probably deal with that kind of dive and get something out of it. If he was any other champion, this is not a bad idea. At the same time, they can't 2v2 lane. Like I said, remember, like, they couldn't create a lane where they can 2v2, which now is a problem. Like, a big problem.
A little bit surprised by that. They garnered all this information thanks to those early walls that were invested, and now Mewin, he's about 2 minions.
So we'll see what happens.
In a pretty comfortable spot. No real risk of getting done.
Carlson has been able to soak up XP underneath the tower down towards the bottom side. He's already level 2. He's going to get his first minion of the game on board as well. Elio is on his
And
way.
currently, for the way how, like, the XP range, like, increase that they've done, I mean, it's not going to work. Okay, so he's gained the full wave, which is already extremely bad. He's level 3. So he died, but he got so much XP that was it actually worth it?
Circumvents the Q from Alvaro by flashing over it, and I mean, he couldn't play that much better. He's also able to TP back in because the wave is so stacked that Koi can go for the redive. I mean, best case scenario, I feel, for Carlson.
He dropped all that XP top, by the way. So top lane has an advantage for Carlson. Carlson has an advantage. Also, the upside is that Sheo has been able to farm the entire time, unlike Eloya, who had to spend time, like, doing this. And also the bigger upside is that Sheo did his own camps, right? So his own camps are cycled correctly. And now he just lost all his conditions. Fantastic. Okay, Jojo just killed himself. Okay, dude, what is... This is also, again, if you kill this guy, like, because they have to redive, right? Like, they had to redive. They can't do it in one go, because the tower does too much damage, and then you have to wait a longer time for the tower to end, like the ramped up damage. What is it? I think they increased it from, was it 4 to 6 seconds, or like 6 to 8 seconds? Something, like, ridiculous, right? And so he has to drop this, and he has to wait for support to get near to actually, like, go here, right? Like, he can't just go right away, or else he gets dove instantly.
So, I mean, well played from both sides. Of course, the good news for Blackhead is he's given a lot of free time up towards the top side.
I mean, Jojo just has to collect the wave and chill out. No? Like, he's just gonna do this wave base and TP. Yeah, so he's gonna base TP, so he's fine. And now this guy has to TP because they're getting cut off. And Eloya has to spend time farming. He can't just come up here. You know, at this point, generally, you know, when the lanes are like this, why would Mbessa not take over bot? This actually makes no sense at all. Why would you not send your Ezreal Braum top to take over top? This is the... Koi just completely messed this up. Because Ezreal Braum can at least, like, poke them and deal with this a little bit. And then you still have her TP in case something weird happens. So they don't do it that way. They send Ezreal to 1v1 the Cassante, which he's not going to do anything. Wow. And then this guy gets hard chunked. And then Jojo's trading mid. Like, I don't even know what he's doing. Like, this guy didn't even flash, he just killed him. Like, what did he actually just do? Like, he dies, but, like, Camilo, like, didn't lose... Camilo didn't lose his flash.
I hope we get an opportunity to look back at that, because I feel like Jojo just made a poor assessment by going for an all-in that Camilo in the extended trade was able to get the better of.
Yeah, Jojo definitely just ruined that. So now Jojo runs top, because he has a timer, right? And he wants to stop this kind of dive. So this is good by Jojo. Like, I'm glad that he at least, like, came up here, because it, like, it makes them really afraid to, like, continue this. Yes, he drops the mid wave, but it is what it is, right? Like, as in terms of, like, he doesn't have the push.
Still being put under a lot of pressure. You can see the farm discrepancy.
They also... Eloya ends up taking a greedier choice, because Well, I guess it's not a greedier choice per se, because he was clearing up, and he went mid to get the kill, and
I mean,
he probably could have flashed, honestly, the Corki, like, just sooner, and just get out of there, and it'd be... Like, he would definitely waste a lot of time on Lily. But then Lily will take these secondary camps because Sheo's still top, which, I mean, Sheo should still top, right? Like, after this, Sheo should just base and go bot. Or actually, you know what? Once Lily shows, he should definitely look to go do the Krugs and the enemy routes. Yeah. I don't know. But by the time they did that secondary dive, which maybe it's not even worth it, maybe Sheo should just dip sooner. And that would turn out a lot better.
Between the two top laners. Look back at this. Oh, Jojo, that was is pretty significant between the two top laners. We look back at this.
Wow. What the fuck?
Pretty significant between the two top laners. We look back at.
I mean.
Oh, Jojo, that was.
I mean, he just hard whiffs his QE. That's embarrassing.
That's a shot to pass.
That was. The next priority objective. We turn our attention to the bot lane as they often love to get involved in this early objective. Flack making his way over.
So Mbessa has no TP, Kasante has no TP, but Kasante's TP comes up first.
Flacked making his way over. Will kill.
Aloya
That's a shot to pass.
positions himself on top side. Corki's a bit
We turn our
stronger.
attention to the bot laners as they often love to get involved in this early objective. Flacked making his way over, and you can see those stacks really starting.
And Stan just walks in.
31 on the Draven to
This is, I mean, this is fantastic for them. This is it. That's it. Now back off, 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 back off. Man, these guys are inting so hard.
Support right now. Super getting chased down by Blackhead, who flashes across, and Super flashes into the grub pit. Now, Super, I don't think there's anywhere for you to go. Sheo takes the kill, dodges away from the Winter's Bite. Sten trying to come across, and Super
Corki needs to be moving, by the way. I know he's in the middle of something, and he's trying to get the wave. Like, here, it looks like he's still pushing in the Jace. Like, he needs to be moving. Like, move, 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 move. You're like, you're so late on your move. I mean, Corki could have been here even sooner.
Dodged away from the Winter's Bite. Sten trying to come in to help his jungler, who'll flash the wall. Elyoya dashes across, though. Watch out, he pierced Kamilu! A double for Sheo. Elyoya down to 200 HP. Sten, he's a wind's breath away from dying. Gets into the bush, dodges away from the spear, dashes back in. Jojo takes him.
If they get the grubs, it's actually pretty worth it for... Boy, looks like they can't, so they get 2 grubs for Heretics, and they could have gotten more off that. And a lot of that just has to do with the fact that Alvaro and Aloya just went too hard on the Rel. Like, once they chunk the Rel, they're in it. Like, the Rel is zoned off the top wave, they're gonna get the top wave crashed, and they're gonna be able to roll out bot, or roll out down, and start the grubs and get at least 1 or 2 grubs over the enemy. So, yeah, that was kind of a disastrous misplay.
He was a there for the moment, though, and about 400 gold ahead. They did manage to pick up the defeat warfare, pick up the first 3 kills because Super died a little later than Blackhead died. So they're in okay position in this early game. Goal leads for Carlson and Shea, who's 2-0. Only on this early. Blackhead caught out because doesn't have doesn't have the barrier. Wellington comes out.
Okay, wow, he actually picked up one still, though.
Warfare, pick up the first 3 kills because Super died there for the moment.
He did everything he could and ended up being 1 for 2.
I just want to see. So the Rel was shown going towards mid. He's level 4. He needs to get XP. He needs to stop doing this like back and forth shit. Like he needs to get XP. And the second he leaves, because they have good boards, by Koi, they kill him. Really, it's just good vision usage, honestly. Like what they see on the map. Aloya is still upkeeping his farm. He shows he's on drag and grubs are in a minute, so they need to prep for grubs. Kasante has TP, so he's gonna do his base, come back bot, and he has TP. Ooh, Mern can't do this, by the way. Oh, Mern, you enter. So Mern's an enter because if he does this next wave, so he's doing +1, right, to get an item. Of course, this means Kasante's going to be able to push this and get a natural move, which most likely means he will burn TP without him burning TP. And of course, at the same time, if they do start grubs right away, like if Mbessa runs here, yeah, then Kasante's burning TP, but also he's hitting the turret bot. So you can hit the turret bot and TP still. and he's denying a wave. Like, so it's the best world for Carlson. And Carlson knows this. Okay, well, it'd be really bad if these guys end up just inting topside. Also, can I just state that if you're Heretics, where's Sheo in this? Here's Sheo. Why is he moving in like this? They even know that Jace is coming down upwards, so like just take the wave, back up, take the wave.
Come on, just gust walk.
Jace disappeared. He could still be playing for topside.
I don't know if you can, but
Do we see Nidalee on mid with a spear?
don't know if you can, but
I can say it's Squirtle as long as
I don't
Moss Stomper no.
think they did. Unless this shows him. I think that shows him. Okay, so they know he's crossing. So the Corki knows that Nidalee will not be top for this next wave right away. If that's the case, then it's 1v1 top, right? So we're 1v1 with a player who has a good TP situation going on right now. Like, if they both TP, it's winning for Heretics. Take the wave, let this guy 1v1 top, because he can win. These guys has first shift. Then, when they move up, and you're being very careful here, then you can start clearing vision, get a ward here. This is like the best ward. Get a ward here, and if they go in at all, then the Cassante can TP, right? And of course, if this guy gets his base off in the time frame, then you want to play it even slower.
I can say it's Squirtle as long as it's not.
There's also a world where the Cassante could actually drop this wave, technically. And Cassante could have just gone mid, and they could have cleared all this vision out, and now Koya's in a bad spot. Like, those are the two options laid out for Carlson. But regardless, they should just play this slow as Heretics if they're going to do this one. Like, the standard play of just having Cassante go bot to get the wave, and then get a free crash. So, like, these guys did a great job. Like Boy technically got a huge chunk damage on Lilia. You take the crab, you drop... I mean, they ended up dropping the top wave, because, like, they used Jace's move to do this, right?
About to make a connection with his wrist.
Now, at this point, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4... Jace should say fuck the wave. Honestly, like...
For Koi, getting the flash out from Cher.
I feel like this just makes everything so much worse for them.
Escaping Elioya's clutches.
Like, if you want the Braum and Nidalee to sit on top side, then you're foregoing the mid, and then they're just getting access towards the mid section for vision anyways, and that didn't really do anything. And then the Cassante is going to get a natural move over you, and then that's going to become a problem. So it's just like a series of events that, in the end, Jojo just has to sack this wave and just accept that it's completely lost and start the grubs. And then they're going to try to approach from topside, because that's where their vision is. They will have this control and keep this control. And then playing on poke from here. And then they can even play in this area too, so like Sheo can't just like walk in and do things like this. But they kind of just fully drop it. Yeah, Eloya pays big time because Koi doesn't exactly know what they want to do.
I don't mind this Heretics. Like, go in, brute force one, and then accept the fact you're not going to happen. Right? Like, you make sure that Empire are stacking up towards those neutral pieces of strength. Yes, they get 4, they will have mites, but they haven't had a lot of time with your towers, and 1 mite is nowhere near as powerful as having these full 6 grub buff.
What I will say that I like a lot about these fights is due to the limited crowd control that is largely on the side of Koi, really valued for both sides. It makes these fights like very chaotic because it's not about just blocking someone down, like one-shotting and then moving on to the next target. It's a lot of dancing back and forth, a lot of skill expression, making sure you land those skill shots, being able to dodge at the right time, saving your flash at the right moment. Skirmishes are definitely very tense as we find ourselves at 4 to 5 on the kill board. Right now, Camilo is getting some much needed protection, but Kira's on super, making his way out through the river. They spotted the Dragon out in mid, numbers advantage in favor of Koi. Camilo has to respect that. Stand now, finally getting level 6. Alvaro still a little bit behind. As Flathead sets his sights on perhaps the tower. No, he doesn't want to overstay the log.
I think he just wants to make sure that Super's losing minions here. Land an axe on Super, shot just going wide, and looking for perhaps engaging Alvaro, but 3 minions lost, 4 minions lost for Super with an incremental advantage that Flathead can get behind. He's completed his bloodthirst already. I think the next fight we're really going to see is around one of these neutral objectives, 3 minutes before the Red House, 2 before we get that Ocean Drake. So perhaps it's a good time to talk about why Heretics winning this game would eliminate SK from the stands. We mentioned it a little bit earlier, but actually with Rogue losing the last game, we have 2 more teams that are locked into our playoff spot, Tricex and G2. The stands not quite updated for the G2 victory yet, they are 4 and 3. If Heretics win this, they get the 3 wins, which SK can't match. So SK would be entirely eliminated, and Rogue would need to win their final 2 games of the split if they are going to avoid, I was going to say relegation, but just avoid elimination from the winter season. Yep.
I mean, as the game is progressing, it's like things are stabilized a little bit, right? You know, Dragon is in a minute, so that's why we have these guys matched this way. It's pretty nice for Jojo. I mean, Jojo getting to lane with Shojin into the Cassante. He can bully this guy, and Bessa's showing bot, and they choose to send the Corki bot. Does Corki not have TP? Corki doesn't have TP. The Jace will have TP in a little bit. I don't know if the Corki's TP doesn't line up the way it should.
Heretics. Did also short win regular season.
Yeah, not sure.
The season finals in the impressive, right? But yeah, all you need is an opportunity. That's what the team's looking for. Is the blue buff becomes the focus now for Heretics. Stolen away. Back up for 50 seconds as well. Miller likely to go back to bot lane. Super trying to get a poke he can onto the bot lane. Oh, he goes in.
Super dashing forward there. Alvaro on the front line. Fisher going out. Looking Lullaby's going to put Alvaro to sleep. Elioya still putting the spears.
This is good by Koi. Not so great by Heretics. I mean,
fall so short during the regular season.
for one, I guess the only reason why they're doing this is that Cassante has the TP advantage for a little bit. So if they're gonna force a fight, then they have to use.
All you need is that opportunity.
Okay, I like the vision clear. It's very good.
The focus now for Heretics.
Sten doesn't have flash.
Dragon up in 50 seconds as well. Camilo likely going to go back to bot lane. Super trying to get what poke he can onto this bot lane.
Okay, this is it. By the way, the second this guy, oh, but they don't have a. They still don't have the wards behind.
Camilo, given that they did season finals, so they ended up making the impressive run, right? But yeah, all you need is that opportunity.
They have 3 sweepers too.
For is the blue buff becomes the focus now for Heretics. Stolen away. Dragon up in 50 seconds as well.
I think at this point, Sten probably should have dropped one more like ward, but it probably would have been gone. Because I think that Ezreal had 2 charges. Yeah, the Jace fucking TP'd though.
Still putting the spears towards Heretics. Jojo TP'd in. Camilo is already in the middle of the fray. Sten goes in onto Super, who cleanses, who flashes, but Blackhead follows.
That's rough, man. Because
that's what these teams are looking for, is the blue.
I really like what they did. Like, I really like that they have these sweepers to just kill these wards, because I'm assuming, again, they're playing for this versus this, right? Like, this is not here. They have TP advantage, right? TP advantage. So they want to force a fight. So I get what they're doing. And so that's why how they're leveraging blue, and that's why these guys are playing safe.
Buff becomes the focus now for Heretics.
And they do end up getting it. But you just don't want to take too much poke either, right?
Up in 50 seconds as well.
So
likely gonna go
he's not really being pressured at all by this guy, and he's technically out. But when this happens, obviously you'd love to just like go in, right? He has flash, so if you use your full combo, you're gonna do nothing. And I do think as Lilia, I guess she kind of needs to scout Corki out because the Mbessa could go on him. So they do need to do it this way.
Onto this bot lane. Oh, he goes in.
That's Super dashing forward there.
I'm actually like okay
onto this bot lane. Oh, he goes in.
with how this looks, and then just not doing anything else. As like Heretics. But then they go back in. Really good fucking ulti by Alvaro. And then that's it. I mean, Jojo doesn't need a TP, by the way. Like, there's no TP coming by Carlson. He doesn't need TP.
All you need is that opportunity.
And I'm kind of sure why Jojo just burned all of his mana instantly somehow.
Onto this bot lane.
TP'd in Camilo.
And like this was it, right? Like no more. But then Super walks. Yeah, he sees the route go towards mid. Oh my god. God, dude. So, now Koi dropped the top wave. Super randomly dies for 0. They get a full reset. And then they want to get their topside camp so they don't give anything over. And the Corki now has TP. And there's no TPs on Koi. Did they prioritize Herald way more than Dragon, or what am I missing here? Like, they can still get poked if they did this, so I get why they're not, like, instantly on it, right? I get that. I definitely get that. And they have full conditions on both their solos. So he even gets a ward on Dragon. So I guess in their view, they want to make sure they get the top camps and get top at least like vision to see if something happens. And once that's established, and because they have a ward on Dragon, if the enemy goes to Dragon, then they can fight it. If not, then they're fine. So they're just getting set up on the map, which is fine by Heretics.
They're too late though. They're way too late. Good
They are
poke
very-
comes out from Koi.
Unfortunately for Heretics, yeah, like they're wasting a ton of time because
Frustrates me. It's free
Vision.
this play by Mern
Essentially,
completely
for
ruins
your team,
everything,
as
right?
Millwall
Like
goes in with a public
now,
execution, Camilo still has the
now you
flash
just can't do
back.
anything.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a
Literally
lot of
can't do
damage
anything.
Coming out from Mirwin, flashes away from the shadowing strike. 2 shots. I think he would have just caught the tail of the Corki there.
Yeah.
Camilo does burn the flash in the end. Now, when Koi with
So now Camilo is like, it's too low, needs to base TP. Like Sante has to base and run up for this. But at this point, does Herald matter enough? 4 grubs, no dragon. Oh, but no, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. The only upside, I guess, is that, and like, I mean, they dropped the wave too. So like, once Rel sees this guy, he doesn't have to run into him. He just needs to like stand and just watch. The Corki gets the wave. The Corki backs off. I don't know. I mean, like, it's just really messed up just because of this, right? In the end of the day.
I think he would have just caught the tail of the Corki there.
Because now this shit is done, so this guy needs to base. The Rel can place whatever vision she wants, and like, Lilia needs to start thinking about moving towards the drag. I feel like once this happens, as like Cassante sees this shit happen, I would cancel my base and keep going bot. I see no reason to move as Carlson.
Typically, what you do is by chipping away your damage coming out from there when he lost his flash, and now a dive is on the horizon.
And he should never be in a spot, by the way. Like, Corki should never be in a spot where, like, he's just, like, up here alone. Like, these guys should have already moved away from the situation, clear the vision. Like, maybe Stend has the base, get more wards, and he's going back topside, but you're doing the dragon. And if they want to run down and do the dragon, okay, fine. But the Corki doesn't need the TP back. Like, the Corki should not be TPing back. And you should be able to keep that TP advantage up. The fact that he just dies is just pretty fucking funny.
Now he has to be a lot worse. I mean, look at the damage coming out from Mirwin. He's lost his flash, and now a dive is on the horizon.
I think Camilo's back flushed, Ferdy. Winter's bite goes wide, the Rift Tower tanks it up.
So he's dead. Stend flash ults, which I actually don't mind because, like, they're stuck under the turret still. The only thing that sucks about this is that they know Cassante's in the area. So once they know Cassante's in the area, it's a fast dive, right? Like, kill. These guys don't have flashes. I think they're just stuck, so it's just a good play by Sten to catch them. And maybe they didn't need to like full commit to it in the end. I guess they're hitting mid as JoJo's hitting mid. I don't know. Well, that was pretty sick.
Remember that Drake before over 3 minutes ago, Betty?
Yes, I do.
He knows the guy has no flash. He knows where the enemy is. Goes right in. Nice. Oh man, that was really nice by JoJo. Shit. Really good by JoJo. How do all these other people die? Like, Braum doesn't need to keep fighting this, by the way. Like, Braum could just W this way. Could have just W this way, block where he needs to block, and then you run. Because, like, you're not fighting this anymore, right? So Alvaro kills himself. Does Super kill himself too?
We'll have the arcane shift up in a second. Stend on the wrong side of the wall. Camilo and Castle now need to retreat. Super dashes in. The Buffet Bomber is not met with a missile compatriot, and Super will take another encore. Just absolutely smashing the
Camilo's rockets were better. That could have been a lot worse for Boy. That was really well played by JoJo, though. The only thing is, did he know? So I think he knew that Corki pushed out bot, so he's gonna be a little late to mid. And he knows where Rel is, and he knows where these guys are. Yeah, he had all the information. So it was actually a smart play by him. Then Bessa's doing a lot of work. And Bessa's doing a lot of work in this game.
Carlton will die for the second time this game. And employs a way to pounce on these small mistakes from Heretics. And now looking for a tier 2 on the bottom lane. Jojo was slow. Looks like nobody's going to come out. He's been put to sleep and Barrel Flash without any way to escape.
Oh, Jojo.
And that will be all for that in the
Well done, Jojo.
But ultimately, I say more advantage gained, not really. They just kind of got killed. They moved into the enemy jungle, they pressed the always camps, and kind of...
So we have the Otacon up on top side. They have to send Cassante bot. If they have to send Cassante bot, then it's better to send Mbessa bot, because Mbessa can beat him at this point, especially because he's not as strong. And then also you want the Jace established around the team so he can poke. That's how they want to do this. Even though the Jace could bully the Cassante probably harder, it's just better to have the Jace like established, right? The only thing that sucks is like he has 4 wards, right? So Alvaro has 4 wards. He got a ward on Otacon. They're chilling on mid. Jojo needs to go through mid first. You should only place 1 more ward. Like, Alvaro should place this ward and then chill in the bush and not put another. Like, there's no point in putting more wards down.
I 100% agree with you. I think Sten has a really tricky road to
He also cannot afford to base here. Like, it's not a base timer for Braum. Like, Jojo is here and he wants to come up, but he can't yet because there's no Braum. So that's an int by Alvaro. Like, this base was an int. Like, he needs to do better with his ward spread and not fast drop and come back. You can't do that when your team's like playing on the map. The only way this works, for him is they're not doing this kind of contest. You know what I mean? Like, when they're getting the first top wave with this move, once you clear this vision, you're back to playing here. Like, you still can't go top. Like, Jojo at this point now is going to come here and catch us here. And then you're just going to play here as a team. And that's it. That's literally the play. And then you're waiting for Mbessa. You can't play up here because you don't have Braum anymore.
Can his team follow up? We'll see if he looks...
Like, there's nothing here. They're playing for nothing. If Braum was here, yeah, you could play this. But he's not here.
For an engage in a second.
So,
things like this are great. The swap seed into the engage. Jojo's already slowed up.
Yeah.
Wasn't in the right form either. And that's...
Also, if Mbessa was ever going to do this, she's TPing on the trap. Like, like I would instantly TP on the trap if he's doing this. But again, we don't have the guys yet, so... That's on Jojo, but it's on, like, the team as a whole on deciding, like, what did they want to do? Like, how did they actually want to play that out? Okay, Carlson kills himself. I like it. Yeah, Mern is just doing a lot. I like that Mern sat back, and so these guys have to walk in, right? And then now he shows, and it's like, oh shit.
Already down to a third, and Mirwin immediately dives in to try and take out the enemy mid. He jumps onto Sten.
Yeah, they can't do anything, man. So now they have Otacon. Baron's in soon, but they're gonna play for drag. Heretics will have to give the drag. Unless they're able to, like, create an inting situation for their opponents. Playing up on vision. Wow! That's not good. That's really bad. And Corki doesn't even have his Mura still, so... Yeah, this is hard winning for him. Damn. How does he even die like that?
This team, they're fast, they're aggressive, that's why they're sitting at the top of the table.
Pulling out around the map right now as well. Jojo's pushing in the top side. Super secures the mid lane. Prio, and now can team up with his compatriots down towards the bottom side. Flaccid with a good side step there from the Winter's Bite. And
you can see it on the bottom left. I didn't see it pop up on the bottom left.
And the Stick shot. Camilo trading with Jojo, but Jojo.
The Corki probably does have his Mura on that base. Yeah, he did. That's rough.
I really like the positioning from Boy generally though, because what they're managing to do is split the fight, and Send always has to think, if I engage on Leo and Algo towards the top side, Mirwin super free on the bottom side of the fight to engage on towards my backline. If I engage towards Mirwin, well then Leo and Algo can just put damage down across the wall. It's really nice positioning to make it difficult for Heretics to actually find avenues to engage the fight. Carlson can suppose it's going to proc on him, but he's still Fisher, go down as well. Sten still looking to engage once again. There's two pincers that he has to deal with. Black caught out by Mirwin. Stand aside. Will stop Mirwin getting killed. Jojo going for a little bit more, so has that win as well. It's really nice positioning to make it difficult for Heretics.
So the way they're viewing this for the Otacon is like, yeah, they could pull drag, but because this buff has only limited amount of time, you can tell it's already 3/4 of the way done, it won't last towards Baron. They want to try to get as much damage down and take these turrets in an aggressive way.
For Heretics to actually find avenues to engage the fight. Carlson, concussive blows is going to proc on him, but he's still Cassante.
Okay, we random Braum ult.
Going down as well. Sten still looking for the engage, but once again, there's two pincers that he has to deal with. Black get caught out by Mirwin. Stand aside.
What the fuck is Jojo doing? Why did Jojo flash? Like, can I just state that, like, you should never be blowing your flash for the most part in the GA state? Because you're just trying to get, like, sums, cooldowns, whatever the case is, and then beat your opponents afterwards on the next round. Like, if they got enough done, they could pull Baron. Like, if the enemy spent all their ulti CDs in a fight to live, and Koi didn't, and then Koi GA'd back, they could just play Baron, and they would win. Like, in most cases, they probably would just win. Though, I will say, they're playing Nidalee Jace, so I guess they don't really have as many super important ulti CDs. But Rel ulti, Raven ulti, Lily ulti, Cassante ulti, like, these are all pretty damn important.
That's what you have to do, really, to get back into the game if you're Heretics.
Combo is for sure
so,
much needed.
then Bessa is soloing the dragon. All these guys need to do is play for poke while these guys are going for vision. If you don't hit anything, that's it. You don't go any further.
Gets punished for it.
So you took the drag, now then Bessa's rolling up.
Basically, this is just a game of poke.
Technically, because then Bessa has TP, she actually could go back bot. Low key, she actually could go back bot. So it all depends on how much poke damage they got done, if they think these guys are going to base or not. So at this point, Corki is 75% HP and less than half his mana pool. So maybe this is why they're playing this faster than you usually would.
Basically, this is just a game of poke. Can the poke even land? There's a little
because Mbessa's rolling up, right? And
low as well.
I mean, I don't know. Like, okay, I know he's going through here, but I'd rather just go through here. No, like, you're catching it high anyways. Like, they'll catch it low. Maybe you could find something from this angle, but I probably prefer the other path because it's less awkward to walk around.
Flank comes in.
This gorgeous. He is spotted on vision.
And Bessa go. And Bessa go. Like, when do they see this guy? They see him here. And Bessa go. And Bessa needs to start walking into them literally right now.
Flank comes in.
This gorgeous.
Like,
once he shows here, then Bessa should start moving. And now the Corki can't move upward. He needs to move to the left. So Stend is isolated, and he has to run, or else he dies.
Comes around the wall.
Naturally, this would be the exact same thing if if this guy was here, and then he would already be doing it even sooner. And that's why I said, like, this position's not nearly as good. This position's not nearly good as the one right here.
Joe looking for the swell seeds as well. Mirwin is below Camilo right now. Sten jumps over the wall.
So we Braum ulti nothing.
Carlson, Camilo trying to escape, but still doesn't have his flash. Carlson down as well. Below Camilo right now. Sten.
I mean, he Braum ultis Lilia, but there was really.
Camilo right now. Sten jumps over the wall, doesn't find a connection.
In some ways, the Braum ulti was kind of good though.
Camilo right now. Sten jumps over the wall, doesn't find a connection.
I wonder also though, with the flank that Mbessa did, so he would have been sooner. I guess it technically baits the Corki more because the Corki doesn't see the Mbessa coming. And the guy can't do anything about that. Okay, I do like what Koi did in the end, and what Mern did. I guess it does have to deal with the fact that Corki's conditions are just not ideal. He needs to base TP back. So if you pull, you're going to have the superior position in the first place.
in unabated and outflanked. Maybe we could have gone for a little bit more there if you wanted to.
And Bess is doing a ton of work. Ton of work.
To follow up on engage, and snap right there. The Boy looks to punish. Heretics, they realize the situation is dire. It's a difficult engage to find. The poke is continuing to come through from the side of Boy, and it ends up falling apart. Baron secured. Boy with a 5.6 gold lead set their sights on the base of Heretics.
I know you're talking about how hard it is for Sen to engage in this situation, but it's because Boy playing the fight so well. Like Super is down.
I really do feel like they should not have given Jace over.
Just to avoid the CC, it seems as hard to shut it down. Super has to go back. It's because Boy playing the fight so well. Like Super is
I feel like if I was playing against Azir, this would feel better.
Elioy is looking for the side position. Mirwin is caught out here with the loading lullaby. Goes back in with the execution. Just to so well.
Is that all it took? Is that literally all it took? Because like you're coming off the reset, right? And this is your map. This is your map, right? Jace has TP. Jace is reasonably strong. He should go bot. Nidalee is top right now, and Bess is mid. This guy needs to rotate topside and get this, then Nidalee shouldn't be touching the top wave. Right? Or the Jace is pushing out top, basing, and then coming joining the team. But that delays the map a lot. But they should be able to get all the waves. Like, I don't like Nidalee touching the top wave.
You know, always positioning behind the team, getting
like the Nidalee should just base.
So finding someone.
If the Jace wants to push out top, I don't think it's actually that bad.
Towards the red buff area here to make sure that
so Jace could have done this wave and then the next wave, then base, and then Bessa would run bot on the tower, and then Nidalee would base. And I don't think that's that bad either. But regardless, like the bot wave should never be fully dropped by Koi.
Heretics, they realize the situation is dire. It's a difficult engage to find. The poke is continuing to come through from the side of Boy, and it ends up falling apart. Baron secured.
Like I don't like fully dropping this. Like they're gonna take this turret really easy.
Playing the fight so well. Like Super is down towards the bottom side of it. Mirwin is flanking behind.
And he ends up getting caught. Is their wave clear good? Their wave clear is kind of bad.
Forced Sten to find engages in this situation, but
yeah, the wave clear is kind of bad.
To come through from the side of
it looks like the Nidalee never based either, so he just has nothing to buy, I guess. And the Bessa doesn't have to change her location. The wave clear is pretty fucking terrible because Sante, Drave, and Corki. It's pretty terrible.
Is continuing to come through from the side of Koi, and it ends up falling apart.
I will say though, they don't have to go through a tier 2 top though when they do this. If they did it the way I was thinking, they don't have to go through the tier 2 top. Like they would already be on the inhib. Well, it would be slower than this still because they have to pull the whole bot wave. But they would be on the inhib turret. Or like the inhib turret sooner. Of course, Burn kills himself, which fantastic, right? Like great. Then Super gets caught because Sten sees the angle, so I'm pretty cool with that. Aloya kills himself. He doesn't need to go in here. So Aloya kills himself. And then it looks like Jojo kills himself. Are you kidding me? That's how they lose?
Showcases the fragility of this composition.
Let's go look for him. He dashes away with the Valkyrie. Now Alvaro, you step too far forward.
I feel like this guy did absolutely nothing here, by the way. Like, he's still pressuring with no fucks given. He W's away, and no one predicts that he's gonna W away, right? Like they don't hold their spells. Because obviously he's going to hold his W, but like the Braum could hold it, right? And he also has Flash. So there's definitely a level of baiting that can happen here. And it's just, I mean, it's just bad by them. Like they could have said an empowered reset. Like, one thing I note about Camelou from watching him in his LEC games, it seems like he has a lot of confidence to hold his spells. Which is pretty interesting. I mean, like, if you can save your spells like routinely every fight and live with 1 HP, that's gonna pay off big time. Like, I saw him do it a couple times already this game, and it's very interesting. Okay, so they just burned a couple ultis, and Carlson was actually able to get out. They're able to take the top turret and maybe the top inhib, but the dragon's coming up, so they're using dragon as leverage to hit this. Sten is sitting on the map with no HP, but he's looking for a long fight. Okay. Oh, it's not soul because they have Otacon. Oh man, I'm so used to looking at the top and thinking that like all that is just dragons, right? But reality is Otacon shows up there for some odd reason. It's not its own separate thing, so I thought it was soul point. So it's not soul point. So it really was not as. It's kind of weird that like Koi like leveraging so much on top versus just ensuring like the drag. Because at this point you're just playing for soul. Like your champions definitely scale better, so like you're just playing for soul. And then if the enemy so happens to like fuck up from like getting outpoked, getting choked out, then GG.
All the rage around the world, and you can see why. But not just competition to play into. I'm waiting for the Soraka comps to start coming back into meta. But this is the tricky part. Maybe Spear, maybe the Shock Blast, ow, 50% HP. The call comes from quite G1 fighters when you have this HP, and often the answer is no, they want to go back to base, maybe they expend the TP. She does have the red buff, does help. Get a bit
There's a lot of farm being dropped this game. Like a lot of farm is being dropped this game. Like Jace base is here. To get empowered boots. The Braum for sure needs to base because he has no wards. He's slightly worried that he's going to be a play of the Jace. But at this point, he definitely should just, like... Then Bessa should go bot. It actually makes no sense for the Bessa to not go bot at this point. And the Jace goes top. Because, like, they should have someone, like, pushing this out. There's 40 seconds on Baron. Like, I think doing one wave and shifting is... They are not mixing these guys together well. The farm's way too low. Way too low.
Takes a bounce on the trampoline. That's a good time.
It's perfectly adequately length jump, okay?
And you know it's too low because the jungler is like almost outpacing the mid laner.
And the thing I think for MK is if they play the fights, like they play every fight apart from the last one, they should be fine. Sten is looking at the flank here, super out of vision, outro, fought, a little bit of slow, maybe look at that flank of his own. No way Sten spotted him then, no
So not
things.
really any poke is landing. We see Heretics a little bit split up here.
Okay, that's a poke on the show.
Good poke on the show.
Well, regardless, we're all
Out of
mid.
vision, outro,
He's clearly not on the wave.
with a little bit of a...
So you don't want to overforce as Heretics. You literally got the top wave. You're never going to get the mid wave. Because if the Jace is here, how the hell are you entering? You're not. It's not happening. So they could have just done another top wave with the Corki and the Rel behind, maybe. I mean, the Lilia's like doing camps as well. Is the Lilia just moving too early?
For both mid and bot, at least something you can't afford to underestimate. It all comes down to the execution. We've talked extensively
she stole
about
that.
limited crowd control on the side of Koi.
They don't know if Jace is doing another wave yet.
Crowd control on the side of Koi.
I mean, that would have been interesting, but I don't think it would have been anything, and it's not probably good at all. It's not like they can really connect the easiest.
We've all been there, Sten, that's fine.
Takes a bounce on the trampoline. That's a good time.
So he wasted time, and now the Jace is here.
Length jump. Okay, it was perfectly
Like, I guess the only thing you could say is that Corki needs to be mid. Maybe that's the only change. Like, Corki's mid, so now you're 5 stack to 5 stack, and you push them Bessa out because your Corki's has to just be it. No? Like, then Bessa's stuck here. The Corki can move this way. You can move this way. Stop them from entering this area entirely. Sten could even like place wards and take a quick and chuck a base if he wants to.
Adequately length jump.
Because he has the freedom to do
Good
it.
bounce, good bounce.
Carlson gonna jump in front of Stand here, as they do set up.
The only thing is that Mbessa might push out top side. But then at least you get mid.
And the thing I think for MKOI is if
But the thing is, are you gonna pull on the dot with Baron? Like, is that your goal? You're gonna pull Baron? Probably can't do it. But like, at least maybe keep control of that area would lead to Sten having a good flank. Because they have to heavily depend on Sten hitting a good flank.
Not really any poke is landing. I mean, we see Heretics a little bit split up here.
Because this is not great. I mean, like, they're just walking in and they're just taking chip damage because... And now we're 5 stack here, but then Mbessa is now getting to push top. And this is everything that Koi wants to do. The only problem is that Supa is pretty low on mana. That's the only worry I have. And then they're all just stopping this. I wonder if Koi could have gotten more out of that. Because once this shit happens, like, I feel like specifically when they enter this way, I feel like Mbessa should start rolling out here now. Because at this point now they're gonna have to run away. Like, they must run if Mbessa shows up. Like, they must run. But he doesn't move. Does he have TP?
We see how not really any poke is landing. I mean, again, we see Heretics low that split up here.
He didn't walk over that trap. Can you TP on trap still? Surely yes, right? Or maybe not. Covering to award stuff reveals it's so it still works? Because if it still works, that trap is a GG situation. Like, once they, like, not yet, now. Once they commit like this, the Mbessa TP comes out. Now they're going to push forward, and they're going to slow you, so you're going to have to retreat. The Braum could even R-flash, right? Like, he could R-flash Flackade, who has no flash, by the way. Stend is not going to be able to react. They're screwed. Like, this is a GG moment. But no matter what, like, Mern has a ton of power in this situation. And they don't commit. And, okay, so the Draven can recover because he has BT. But the other two can't. It has to just be because Ezreal has no mana. That has to be the only reason. I don't know why Ezreal has no mana. When did they take blue? No, we don't know. Well, it's kind of obnoxious they didn't get any of that, and that's mostly because of Mbessa. It has to be because of Mbessa. So we have full, okay, full conditions on Ezreal this time. This is a little dangerous how they're doing this. Like, I feel like at this point that's enough. You don't need to go further than this. Like, no, like, we shouldn't stack in this pocket, that's for sure. It's like, if that hits, they're gonna go. And it's really scary.
If he lands it on Elioya and Supa, if he lands it on a couple of the carries, you know he's just going to go. True Shot Barrage comes out. Doesn't really seem to do too much. The shielding coming out from Stend and Carlson enough to eat through that damage. Stend now has a locket.
They're just eating so much poke, man.
Camilo gaining mid lane prio. Carlson jumped on concussive blows, one auto away from
they get the mid wave, but like, it doesn't change anything. Oh, did Mern have to really go in there? This guy is Flash.
It's battle lines drawn, public execution onto Blackhead as he tries to escape. Has already popped the barrier. Meanwhile, lacing Lullaby on Jojo, but Alvaro is going to block him. Sten goes in
fucking
on
way.
He cleanses and dashes across the wall.
Oh man, Flackett is on that guy. What?
Break up in a minute.
Huh? This situation looks so terrible for Heretics. I mean, like, do I think Koi should play, like, so heavily on this at times, or at least stacking on it? Probably shouldn't stack on it. Just on the off chance that literally, like, screws you over. But
jumped on concussive blows.
Look at their HPs. Like, it's already, like, whittling down. And they have access to Baron first still.
Up in a minute 30. It's battle lines drawn.
It's just, why did Mern go? He doesn't need to go. He should always hold his ulti. Who has no flash? They all have flashes? So yeah, you can't press R as Mern ever.
It's battle lines drawn, public execution onto Blackhead as he tries to escape. Has already popped the barrier. Meanwhile,
and then where's Supa playing? I mean, Supa can't play south. Like, you just let Mern do his thing, and then, like, Supa just plays with the rest.
Blackhead as he tries to escape. Has already popped the barrier. Meanwhile, lacing Lullaby on Jojo, but Alvaro is going to block him. Sten goes in onto Supa. He cleanses and dashes across the.
And then what is Carlson doing?
Lines drawn, public execution onto him. Break up in a minute 30. Mcoy.
So Carlson helps him out here, which is correct. Yeah, dude, these guys actually got... For one, the Braum should be in front, right? He should have his shield ready. And Jace should not play in front. I mean, if Jace wants to play like this, hit this.
Minute 30.
Dude.
Jumped on concussive blows, one order away from being procced on.
Surely we can just hit the wave with range, right? I mean, the Lily can even help with it.
30, MCoy. It's battle lines drawn, public execution.
He gets slept, so he has to run. Braum has to stick with Jace just in case.
Meanwhile, lacing lullaby on Joe.
Yeah, it's Supa's fault. Supa just needs to play with these guys.
Now Mirwin's on the back line. Sten diving in. Supa dashes in, but Flackhead will be able to secure him. Elio's going to get him in response. Camilo now up towards the top side, trying to take down Jojo, and will manage to do so. Elio trying to move. Well, it's battle lines drawn. Public execution onto Flackhead as he tries to.
So Mern needs to go back in now, right? Wrap back in, so he's doing the right thing. I don't think he should ulti still, but he's going back in, right?
Gonna block him. Sten goes in onto Supa. He cleanses and dashes across the
Braum
wall.
ulti's
Now Mirwin's
okay.
on the back line. Sten diving in. Supa dashes in, but Flackhead will be able to secure him. Elio's gonna get him in response.
Yeah,
Camilo
Camilo's
now
just
up towards
fucking
the
these
top
guys
side, trying
up.
to take down Jojo, and but Flackhead will be able to secure him. Elio's gonna get him in response. Camilo now up.
Aloya just needs to go left, no?
Dashes in, but Flackhead will be able to
Aloya just needs to, like, run left. Or, like, jump left. He could even flash, or he could even, like, flash up, jump over, and he would have been fine. So Aloya didn't have to die. That's crazy.
After holding the line after weathering the harassment of poke that was coming out from Koi, are able to play the fight well. They're able to find 3 kills. Notice some long death timers. Flashing after.
And so they get Baron.
Flackhead, no sums. Super the same. In fact, no flashes. Stand down half HP. Dragon now spawning into the pit. Inferno, Inferno with his poke would be absolutely devastating. Spears rain down. Stand dashes out.
Holy shit, Carlson just literally walked through everyone.
Into the pit. Inferno soul for MCoy, and Inferno with this poke would be absolutely devastating.
What is Carlson doing? Why is no one doing anything about this, by the way?
Would be absolute.
That's really funny.
The pit.
I think Ezreal drops this position, by the way. Like, when this guy does this, I think Ezreal's supposed to E over. Like, let him get a little bit closer, right? Like, don't do anything yet. But E over now. And then Braum should be throwing his Q here at this guy. And he's inting. Like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's here. But he should lose half his health. Easily. 100% of the time. And then Braumar can come through this whole section. And they can't walk through. And then Mern is here. Like, this is GG. Like, Carlson's literally destroying them by doing this. Like, what Carlson has to do is, like, they have to clear this vision here, and he needs to hold the position. It's gonna suck, but he needs to hold the position. You're waiting. I'm just trying to think what Sten can do. Like, Sten shouldn't be here. Sten should be walking all the way around.
Looking for that flank position again, Betty. Trying to get behind him, stand down half HP. Dragon now spawning into the pit.
It is just ruthless.
But it doesn't turn out as bad. And then Camilo realizes, like, he needs to mark this guy, okay.
Carlson trying to get back in. True Shot Barrage goes through him and through Flackhead. Sten still looking for that flank position. Elioya still
Oh
on the
my
Drake
god, he
side.
hit
1,000
2?
HP on it. Lilting Lullaby
No
on Jojo.
way.
Also connects on Alvaro. He puts down the Glacial Fisher. Mirwin still trying to get him. The keeping him at bay.
They're kind of breaking apart.
The one who goes in, Sten in there.
And they got the drag. What does the Ezreal do?
In the middle of the pit, it's secure.
Okay, I mean, like, you're never gonna kill them, bro. Is that the game? I think that's the game. Wow. Huh. Wow. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, Koi played better still. Like, generally, they play better. This guy easily could have, like, won the entire game. Mern, like, his flanks were just so obnoxious that if he used them a little bit better a few times, they would win. For sure. This guy was not good. This guy was pretty bad. So the Ezreal kind of screwed them over. Also, Jojo was like half and half. Like, he did some really good things, but he also did some pretty bad things. So, and despite all this shit happening, they were still winning. Why? Because, I mean, look at the range. Like, they have 3 champions that poke you in. You have to fully depend on your Rel to go in. This is why, like, probably playing Sejuani would have been a better choice, because, or even Ivern, because Ivern would, like, stop some of the poke, right? Per se. But, I mean, he did, like, he was able to attach and land at times, right? Which was great. And they did use the Braum pretty well. The Szechuan probably be better than Ivern in many ways, just because you could start a situation, right? But he also is able to upkeep and be a force in the fight. And he did, like I said, that last situation where he got like the double sleep, that was a big point. But also, it was really hard to walk in with just Lilia. And like, or just like Cassante Lilia. Camelo was iffy / good. He was good. Blackhead was good for this game. He was definitely good for this game. He was iffy. But it was not half bad. It was iffy. Carlson, same thing. Iffy. Iffy. So I felt like overall, like, they had a lot better things going on for them. But despite that, just these last few fights, they just screwed up. And they won. And that was it. Interesting. I mean, it was a very interesting game. Just to see that, like, how did Heretics actually beat these guys? And the fact that they can compete in some ways is not bad, but there's still quite a bit lacking in both, like, direction on what to do as Carlson, as Stend, Camelo as well, but that's natural. But his fighting capabilities are actually showing up, which I'm happy about. So it is what it is. Until next time.